Howard Smith Wharves sits on the northern edge of the Brisbane River, drawing thousands of people every week to its craft breweries, boutique hotels, and restaurants. But beneath the neon signs and modern timber decking, these venues are operating inside protected 1930s warehouses. During the Second World War, this precinct was retrofitted to protect the city's population. As you can see in this photograph, these structures functioned as crucial air raid shelters. Before the war, this stretch of the river was the industrial anchor of the city. This wide sweep of early Brisbane shows a landscape dominated by the busiest working wharfs, handling the heavy freight that built the local economy. Today, venues serving massive crowds require rigorous hygiene standards. Typically, commercial cleaners achieve this using high-pressure water blasters and heavy-duty industrial solvents. Apply those standard methods to 90-year-old sandstone and timber, and the architecture would begin to dissolve. Every surface wiped or floor washed here falls under the Queensland Heritage Act. Maintaining this precinct requires specialized contractors operating under strict conservation management plans to ensure the structures survive their daily operations. The proximity to the Brisbane River introduces a continuous environmental threat. The brackish water combines with high subtropical humidity to create a steady, invisible mist of salt spray that travels inland and coats the buildings. This cross-section reveals how mist operates. Blue moisture carries microscopic white salt particles deep into the stone's porous matrix. When humidity drops, trapped moisture evaporates. The remaining salt crystallizes and expands, creating internal pressure that fractures the stone, a destructive process known as spalling. To prevent this, conservation crews perform a quarterly desalination process. They wash facades using ambient temperature water at very low pressure, strictly below 500 psi, to gently flush out salt before it crystallizes. Without this specific regular extraction schedule, the accumulated salt would literally push the building's facade apart from the inside out. Moving up to the higher levels of the warehouses, the original structural framework features old-growth Australian cedar and spotted gum hardwood. In this climate, those organic materials face intense UV radiation and constant cycles of absorbing and releasing humidity. Over decades, this severe weathering accelerates structural decay and causes the wood grain to split and crack along the surface. Modern construction would quickly seal these cracks with heavy polyurethane coatings to lock moisture out. Heritage regulations forbid those modern plastics. Crews instead apply traditional, natural linseed oil treatments, allowing the centuries-old timber to continue breathing while resisting rot. Down at ground level, bluestone pavers use traditional lime mortar. This structural diagram demonstrates osmotic stress. If high-pressure washers are used, water is forced into the soft lime joint, becomes trapped behind the stone, and gradually erodes the pavement's foundation. Because physical force damages antique timber and soft lime mortar, maintenance teams rely on pH-neutral solutions applied gently by hand, keeping surfaces sanitary and structurally sound. The architectural wrought iron, the heavy window grills and decorative handrails framing the walkways, carries a localized hazard. Because these fixtures predate the 1970s, their original paint layers contain high concentrations of lead. Applying coarse sandpaper, wire brushes, or high-pressure jets to remove corrosion from this ironwork would instantly release toxic lead dust into the air, directly threatening the open-air kitchens and dining areas operating just meters away. Before any maintenance crew touches an iron fixture, they must follow strict safety standards. Certified assessors take baseline swaps of the metal to confirm the exact presence and stability of heavy metals before work is authorized. When lead is found, stripping it is considered too dangerous. Instead, technicians use an encapsulation process. They carefully brush on specialized, non-toxic sealants that securely trap the toxic paint against the iron, neutralizing the hazard without producing a single particle of dust. Keeping this site safe for the public means leaving its hazardous past exactly where it is, meticulously sealing it away rather than aggressively erasing it. Restaurants and breweries generate grease, spills, and heavy biological growth. Maintenance crews must eliminate all of this to pass health inspections, yet usual tools like high-pressure jets and industrial bleach are entirely banned. To solve this, they deploy the DOF seam system.
Instead of blasting stone with pressure, a focused stream of superheated vapor gently melts away thick algae, sterilizing the surface instantly without chemical residue. For intricate metalwork, they use directed energy. Laser cleaning sweeps a precise frequency of light across the iron, entirely vaporizing oxidation and rust without physical friction or airborne dust. By utilizing thermodynamics and focused light, these precision tools allow fragile historical architecture to sustain the heavy foot traffic of a modern commercial venue. Beyond mechanical tools, the broader strategy relies on chemistry. This is a process known as softwashing, where specific, low-impact chemical reactions do the work that abrasive scrubbing normally would. Technicians apply pH-balanced biocide treatments tailored to specific organic threats. These solutions penetrate the surface to neutralize algae and mildew at their roots, actively suppressing new growth for up to 18 months, while leaving the adjacent traditional lime mortar completely untouched. This split-screen image illustrates a critical boundary in conservation. On the left is active salt efflorescence, a harmful contaminant that must be extracted. But on the right is a dark, weathered finish. That is the building's patina. The site's strict conservation management plan prohibits stripping the facades back to bare, bright stone. That darkened, textured surface is the physical record of 90 years spent on the Brisbane River, and removing it would destroy the building's historical authenticity. Elite heritage maintenance requires calculated restraint. The goal is never to erase the marks of time or force an antique building to look brand new. The objective is to stabilize the materials, neutralize active threats, and ensure these structures endure their second century on the river.